But the rest of these, I'll tell you, they're delusional. How can you take someone serious who gets up there and tells you God told him to run? I mean,
well, that's done cynically to get the evangelical vote.
So that means, I guess he's going to be there, and God's going to be telling him what to do. It's kind of like when George Bush was questioned on the invasion of Iraq, and they asked him, "Well, did you consult your father?" And Bush turned around proudly and said, "No, I consulted a higher father." And I almost fell out of the chair. I said, "You mean this SOB wants me to believe he talked to God and God told him to invade Iraq?"
Well, that's like the head of Goldman Sachs says he's doing God's work.
Well, any of these evangelical people out there, if you buy into that, you're a bunch of idiots. If you really and truly believe that these high elected officials have been told by God,
well, that's all that Romans 13 they twist, and they tell them that was Hitler's favorite passage, just do whatever the government says. Throw people in ovens in order to, it's of the Lord. It's very sick. The JFK anniversary is coming up. I know you're speaking at a prestigious dinner. Boy, they've now released the Arthur Schlesinger Jr. tapes of, and I'd always been told this by Jim Marrs and others, but now it's released that Jackie Kennedy said that LBJ had him killed. Now we have the deathbed confession that you first aired on TV last year, on television for the first time, of E. Howard Hunt in the confession. He lost the lawsuit when he tried to sue Spotlight, 30 years ago. And now all these people have come out. I mean, this is pretty much open and shut now, Gov.
But it's not, Alex, because mainstream media, who have bamboozled us for 50 years, still will not say a word about it, nor will they admit that they were wrong. That Lee Harvey Oswald did not kill John Kennedy, and if he was involved, he certainly was not alone. And yet, mainstream media ignores everything you say and continue to do it, and they will never admit it. Alex, you could have a film of somebody shooting from behind the picket fence, and they still would not accept it. You could have one of the shooters come forward, if they're still alive, and say, "Yup, I was the guy in the Deltex building, or I was the guy behind the picket fence," and he could provide all the information needed. He still wouldn't see the light of day, because always remember from the power brokers, if they can kill the president and get away with it, what can't they do?
Well, there's always a bridge too full with humorists, but I agree with you. They certainly think they're invincible. Now, MF Global has taken $1.2 billion of private accounts, and they're actually admitting it's illegal, but saying no one will get in trouble because Corzine is basically above the law.
Well, isn't that interesting, too? And I'm glad. Isn't he a Democrat?
Yes.
Yeah, see? So it ain't just the Republicans. It's the Democrats also. And people better wake up to that. I've been harping on it now for 20 to 25 years that these two political parties are not the solution, they're the problem. John Adams warned us way back when they formed the country. He said the fall of the United States would not come from a force outside, it would come from within, and it would be when political parties take over the government.
Yeah, he said party factionalization, where we have a two-party dictatorship.
Exactly. It's just like pro wrestling, Alex. People wake up. In front of the cameras, they don't like each other. Behind the scenes, they're working together and earning money. That's exactly what pro wrestling is. And now, if you'll believe that for pro wrestling, why won't you believe it for the politicians?
Well, Gov, I'm just glad that you're on this TSA thing because you're bringing a lot of light to it, and things are coming to a head. We had the big opt-out last year on Thanksgiving. We didn't launch that this year. We need to get groups pushed. Final questions and comments for Jesse Ventura. And, of course, we sell his book, 63 Documents the Government Doesn't Want You to Read, at Infowars.com. We'll also give you his website, if I don't forget, on the other side, so get your pens and paper ready. And then Max Kaiser's coming up, and your phone calls with Aaron Dyke. Stay with us. I had almost forgotten this, and then it popped in my head. Tyrell called me last Monday and said, "Oh, boy, the David Icke thing didn't go too well." And I said, "Really? He was in the show 2 seasons ago. It was very fair." And he said, "Yeah, it just didn't go well." And he was just letting me know what had happened, and because David had put out a big article, and I admire Governor Ventura. Ike is a very charismatic guy. I believe what he's saying, and I appreciate his work as well. It's sad to see what happened, but Gov, you never talk about the TV show until it's out, but obviously this information is now out. So I want to ask you, you went to interview Ike in Pennsylvania?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio. And what happened there between you and David Ike?
Well, he just, I don't know, he got all offended and told me to F off and walked off the interview. Simply, I was asking him questions about his expertise, and that's reptilians. And, I go from a point of, there is no dumb question. If I don't understand it, it's certainly not dumb to me. I was trained that way by Chief Warrant Officer in demolition when I went through Navy SEAL training, and that's how I've lived my life. And apparently he doesn't like to be questioned on anything that he believes in or anything that he espouses, and I think that's ridiculous, because if you believe in what you say, then you should have no problem discussing it with anyone. And I just found him to be one of the worst interviews I've ever possibly done, because he's not forthcoming at all.
Well, he had been sick, and I almost wish you guys via Skype could do it again, and try it one more time, because 2 years ago you guys had a positive interview with him, and he's really great on so many issues. And I'm just, I know this. You guys were intending just to do a fair interview, correct?
Absolutely. Everything I did on that episode pointed to going to him to get answers, but getting answers from him is impossible.
That's what's sad. I told him, I said, oh, no, they want to do an open-minded thing, and you're basically the star of this episode, this interview, but it is reality, so sometimes things get crazy. There's so few of us that are really questioning reality and the officialdom.
He gets away with it because he tells you right at the opening thing, he looks right at you and says, nothing is real. Nothing is what it is. So when he opens that door, that means he can say anything he wants, and he doesn't have to defend it with any facts or anything, because nothing's real. And it's laughable when somebody says that to you, or to me anyway.
We ought to get you and Ike on this radio show for a debate. That'd be interesting.
I had my, I don't think I'd care to. I don't think it would go anywhere, Alex, because he obviously took great offense to me, and I don't know why. All I did was ask him questions that were pertinent and things that I wanted to get, hopefully, answers to.
I just want to see you guys patch it up. Hopefully, before you go to Mexico in the next month or two, we can talk about it. But it's a side issue. I just don't.
No problem. I don't lose sleep over it. He goes on and I go on. He's making a lot of money, that's for sure.
What was the question you raised that he got angry at?
Any one of them. There wasn't one. It was the whole interview.
I think he misunderstood reading his article, because he said he sat there for an hour and then he wanted to meet you and they didn't bring him in. I don't think he understood that with that, with real reality TV, they want to keep you guys separate, so the meeting's new. If you read his article, which you told me off air you haven't, I think he took it like it was a setup. He didn't know that the lighting guys were just, as usual, taking their time.
Well, I don't know anything about that, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm there. I was there to interview him. He clearly didn't want to talk to me about anything, and when he did, he wouldn't answer any questions. He attacked me.
All right. Well, God, listen, I want you to have a great time down in Mexico. Be safe, and I know you're talking to the libertarians off record. You might run, huh?
No, I wouldn't hold my breath on it. I've just spoken to them, and they've spoken to me, and the lines of dialogue are open. It's not anything farther than that. They'll have their convention in early May, and at that convention, they will decide who's going to be their candidate for the 2012 election.
Jesse, thank you so much.